Hello everyone. I appreciate God for the privilege to share His word with you today. Are there days when you prayed or wished that God would give you all the details? If your prayer or wish wasn't granted, glory be to God. What are you saying? Why will you say glory be to God? Man, the way or plan to your destiny is secret to God. God showed Joseph the palace, but didn't show him the pit and the prison. God made Joseph to know through a dream that he would be in the position of authority, but kept from him the things he would go through before it comes to pass. What do you think would have happened if God had made Joseph to know that for the dream he gave him to fulfill, he would be thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, and unjustly imprisoned? I don't know, but I believe Joseph would have rejected or prayed against the dream. Probably Joseph would have told God, forget about it, or choose somebody else. Who would want to be thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, or justly imprisoned? I believe no one. But do you know that some of the things we would not want to encounter or go through in life are meant to bring about the fulfillment of what God has shown us or spoken to us about? Most of the things we tend to pray against or avoid are necessary if we are to fulfill our destiny on earth. If God had shown the Israelites what they would encounter or experience on their way to the promised land through the wilderness, I believe they would not have wanted to leave Egypt. They wanted to even abandon their journey to the promised land and return back to Egypt because of what they were experiencing in the wilderness. If God were to have shown many of you beforehand the things you are experiencing now, you will not have taken the steps that God asked you to take. If God shows you every disappointment, if God shows you every failure, every mockery, every loss, every rejection, every accusation, every difficulty, every betrayal, every isolation or discouragement you will encounter while doing what He has called you to do, I believe you would have told God to forget it. Yeah. What do you think would have happened if God had told Samuel to tell David that before he would ascend the throne, King Saul would try to kill him many times, banish him from the land, and he will hide and live in caves? Maybe David would have said, please, Lord, go anoint somebody else. I don't want trouble. I'm okay with being a shepherd boy taking care of my father's sheep. I want nothing to do with the position of a king at all. Just give it to somebody else. See, God isn't going to give you all the details or tell you everything, because if He does, you may never take a step. You don't need to know it all. Yeah. You just have to trust God through it all with patience and endurance. My parents are ministers of God, and they told me some time ago that if they had seen ahead of time the various things they've encountered while doing ministry, they would have had difficulty in answering the call into ministry. They have encountered many things that would have made them to quit, but thank God they endured. See, many times you will encounter certain things that will make you to be wondering if it was God who truly called you. And other times you may experience things that will make you to want to doubt the promise and abandon the vision. When things are not going well or as you planned, will you still love God and be faithful with what He has called you to do? Oftentimes, one will encounter oppositions, disappointment, or discouragement, or when things don't go as planned, or when there is no immediate result, we tend to think or feel maybe this is not the area God wants us to function in. And so we try to go into other areas, but abandoning the area that God truly called us to function in. See, I want you to know that you will go through a season of test and preparation, but it's important you know that your presence in the pit or wilderness of preparation is not eternal but temporal. Expect trials, storms, opposition, but also expect God to see you through. Some of the things you're crying about or mad at God for today may be the very things you'll be grateful to God for tomorrow. Because you'll come to realize that but for those things, you will not have been who you are and where you are. Why quit now? Why doubt now? Man, you've come a long way. Yeah, you've come a long way. Why? Yeah, you've been mocked. Yeah, you've been hated. Yeah, you've been called different names. Doesn't matter. What matters is what God has said about you. You are accountable to no man. You're only accountable to God. It was God who called. It was God who chose. It was God who placed you there. And I want you to know this. Those things you're going through are part of the preparation process, are part of the building process. You don't get gold overnight. You have to go through intense heat, intense pressure. Yeah. Why quit now? Why doubt now? Most times when people quit, unknown to them, they were only seconds away from entering their breakthrough, from entering the promised land. There is no shortcut to the palace. The pit or wilderness of test and preparation is unavoidable. It's not going to be easy. There will be days when you may cry or feel like quitting and even think maybe God has forgotten you and it's like you just want to give up. But know that God is right there with you and is faithful to bring to pass His word and enable you complete the work that He has committed into your hands. So brothers and sisters and family, what I'm trying to say here is this. God is not going to give you all the details. It's not. The plan, the way to your destiny, to what God has called you to do is secrets to God. God is going to keep that from you. He's not going to show you everything. But no matter what you're going through, God is with you. God who called you is faithful to bring to pass His purpose for your life. Endure. Trust Him. He is right there with you. This is not the time to give up. Don't give up. Don't stop teaching. Don't stop singing. Don't stop writing. Don't stop evangelizing. Don't stop praying. Even if you're not seeing the results. Even if you've been mocked. Even if you've been insulted. Even if you're like, God, I didn't know I would go through all this. I didn't know this will happen. This will happen. This will happen. Don't stop. Don't. Don't. That something is God's will doesn't mean to be problem free. When Jesus said, let us cross over to the other side, He was acting in obedience to the command of the Father. The disciples were not alone in the boat. Jesus was present with them in the boat. Jesus, who gave the instruction to the disciples to cross over to the other side, was also present with them in the boat. One would think that since Jesus was present with his disciples in the boat, while they were crossing over to the other side, they will not encounter any problems, right? That was what we normally think. That's how the enemy normally gets us. Well, if God really called you to do this, how come you're experiencing opposition? See, the fact that you were experiencing opposition, the fact that you're experiencing discouragement, attacks, is every reason, is the proof that God truly called you to do that thing. The enemy does not attack those who are no threats to him. The enemy only attacks those that are a threat to him. So if you've been attacked, if you've been mocked in your working place, wherever you are, it's because you are a threat to the kingdom of darkness. So God is not going to show you everything that you will encounter along the way while doing ministry or whatever He has called you to do. He's not going to give you all the details. But one thing I know about God is this: His grace, His present, His sufficient, His constant for us. And no matter what we go through in life, He is going to see us through. You're not going to end in the pit forever. You're not going to end in the prison forever. God is going to turn it around for your good. So my brethren, my brothers, God is not going to give you all the details. And it's okay. It's okay. But know this: God who called you to it is faithful, is more than able to see you through it, and He's right there with you at all times. Have a wonderful day. God bless you.